Hello, stamping friends. It's Angie here with Too Cool Stamping. We're here for another live class. Today's class I really love because I love elegant cards. I don't know if you've been around me for very long, but if you have, you know that I love elegance, and the Simply Elegant suite is absolutely perfect for me. It has all kinds of beautiful, elegant imagery as well as sentiments, and the paper is absolutely amazing. Beautiful foil accents in gold and silver and copper. Absolutely gorgeous. So we're going to be working with that Simply Elegant suite with the Elegantly Said bundle. And before we do that, I just had a couple of announcements. Just a reminder that the mini catalog, it's the January to June mini catalog. That means it is over at the end of the month, June 30th. And as of June 1st, there's an actual discounted list now. We had a list of the last chance items, the items that will be retiring from this catalog. And now there are many items, dozens of items that are up to 50% off. So you'll want to check that out. You can go to toocoolstamping.com and get, there's two different ways you can print it out. You can download either by page number or by category and print out a list. It'll have all of the items that are retiring, and then it'll tell you over here in the corner or on the side here how much some of those discounted items are. And they are while supplies last. So you need to hurry and look. If there's a very popular item, there's some designer series papers and some embellishments, some dies that are 50% off. So check it out. Make sure you look really quickly because some of those items may be selling out quickly. So again, last chance items from the mini catalog available now through June 30th, but only while supplies last. Check out the discounted list at toocoolstamping.com. I don't think I mentioned that I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Most of you know that if you're watching, but if you do not have a catalog, you can always contact me. Just go to my toocoolstamping.com page and click on the email link and make your request. One more announcement. For the past month, we've had a special going on with Stampin' Rewards, and that continues on for half of this month through June 14th. And that is, you can get extra Stampin' Rewards when you place an order of $250 or more. That means an individual order, or if you want to get together with your friends and combine those orders together for a workshop order, as long as it meets that $250 minimum, you're going to get $25 in extra Stampin' Rewards. Now remember, when you have a $150 order, that's when you start to earn regular Stampin' Rewards at any time of year. You earn 10% back in the form of Stampin' Rewards that you can spend on that order. So at $150, you would have $15 in Stampin' Rewards you could spend. At the $250 level, you would have $25 to spend, but with this special, you'll have an extra $25, so $50 that you can spend. That is a really awesome way to save some money, get some extra things off of your new catalog wish list, and I know you're going to really enjoy that. So again, that happens until the end of June 14th. And again, it can be an individual order or a combined workshop order with your friends. Okay, I want to get started with these cards because I think you're going to love them. They're not very complicated cards, but really pretty, and I just adore this set. So hang on, and I'm going to move our camera around so we can start making our cards. Okay, so here we are. Get some light on the subject here. And I want to show you what is in the suite to begin with. Again, this is the Simply Elegant suite, and it all starts with the Elegantly Said bundle. So that begins, and there's a beautiful pen. No, that doesn't come with it. It all starts with the Elegantly Said stamp set. I love this. It just has a few images, but this is an absolutely gorgeous, intricate, decorative border that you don't necessarily have to use just as a border, and I'll show you that on one of our cards. Just a small little detail here, and I love this flower image. It almost looks like it's carved so for printing purposes. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but anyway, I love that image, and a beautiful border image, and then a lot of very versatile sentiments. Birthday, anniversary, you're amazing, thank you, for you, some support ones, and then one that's beautiful for weddings. All kinds of sentiments that are perfect for so many different occasions. So this is the stamp set, and then along with that in the bundle, you get this really pretty, it's an elegant tag punch. And let me make sure, what is it called? Yeah, it is called the Elegant Tag Punch. It has this beautiful shape to it, and I just love it. Matches all of the different sentiments, or just about all of them, and there's lots of different ways that you can use that, so I'll be showing you that as well. And then along with that, we have some beautiful cord here, some silver and gold, and this is in the Simply Elegant twine. Let me see, what is it called? It doesn't say on the page I'm looking at. It's just, I think it's Simply Elegant cord pack, but it has both the gold and silver come in the same pack. Really, really pretty. And then the most beautiful paper I've seen in a long time. This gorgeous, gorgeous Simply Elegant Designer Series paper. You guys, it has such gorgeous foil accents. It's just amazing. I'm going to be using this for lots of different cards, I can tell. This is my favorite one. I had to put it on the top. It has beautiful copper flowers, silver on the leaves, and then accents in gold. Absolutely gorgeous against that black background. Then the back side, of course, just really nice, subtle background patterns that you can combine. This is a beautiful gold pattern. I love this because I didn't do it on our cards. I should have, but this white background makes it perfect for adding color. So you could sponge on or blend on color and make the foil pop from that, so you can have it match any project. I absolutely love that idea. And a really pretty basic gray pattern on the background. This one starts with gray. It has silver and gold accents. And then a beautiful leaf pattern on the background. And this has not only white, but this is a very vanilla leaf. So you can match it with just about anything that you're creating. This has just some little dotted patterns of gold on very vanilla, and a gorgeous gray background pattern. Beautiful gold on basic gray. Beautiful. Another really pretty background. It's like the backgrounds are so awesome, but you don't want to not use the front because of the foil. I don't know. Decisions. This one also has all three foils, the copper, gold, and silver. Beautiful. And it's another white background that you can really easily add color. Brayer it on, sponge it on, blend it on. Beautiful. And then a nice white pattern that will go with that. So absolutely gorgeous papers that I know I'm going to use those a lot in upcoming projects. If you're wanting to know more about this suite, you can go to your annual catalog. It's on page 68. There's some beautiful samples, and it also has all of the different colors that go with it, and you can see the bundle there. All right, let's get started with some projects. I could not wait. The first thing I wanted to do was play with that beautiful paper. Oh, before I get started, I forgot to mention, yes, we are doing a live class. We have people very interested in the live class kit every week. This week, we're doing a special with not only the 5-card class, but I will also have a 10-card class. So I'm going to demonstrate 5 cards. If you would like to get a kit with all of those pieces in it, then you can get that for just an order of $35 using the host code that you see here. If you want to make all of the cards that I show, I always show a 2-cool version, a second version of every card that I demonstrate. And if you want to make all of the cards for a 10-card live class kit, just place a $75 order this week with that host code. This will be good through, let's see, it'll be June 9th will be the end of that offer. And then everything will mail out on June 14th. Okay, let's get started with the first card. This one starts with some petal pink as your card base. And this is just a traditional size, the 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. I could not wait to play with the beautiful paper that I was showing you, my favorite one. So I cut a 3 by 4 inch piece. We're going to adhere that to another black layer, and that's going to be kind of our focal point, background anyway. And our black layer is 3 1/8 by 4 1/8. And that will go on our card front. But let's do a couple more things on the background. I have a 4 1/4 by 2 inch piece of smoky slate that is already textured with the Tasteful Textile embossing folder. Just a little subtle pattern I love. We'll add that with some of the seal adhesive. And we'll put that right about there. So pretty. And then I have another strip of copper, 4 1/2 or 4 1/4 by 3/4. I'm going to put that right along the top, but before I do that, I want to add that pretty border image. And we're going to do that with Petal Pink. So just a little bit of inked up there, and I just want that to be right on the top of where that copper piece is going to go. So I'll just stamp that right there. Just a subtle little texture. And then we'll add our piece of foil. Just gives it just a little bit of extra detail with that stamping. Okay, so there's our background. I'm going to go ahead and adhere this to the background as well. And then we're going to finish up with a sentiment. Look how easy that comes together. And oh my gosh, you guys, I can't get over that paper. So, so pretty. All right, I have a piece of scrap basic white, and I'm going to stamp one of the sentiments from the Elegantly Said stamp set. And I'm going to stamp that in the Memento Tuxedo Black. And we're going to use that Elegant Tag Punch. I think I made it up to a little too high. Yes, I did. Needed to have it a little closer to the edge for some punching. So you can line it up there. I actually cut off just a little bit too much, but it's okay. You'll see why. I have that little tiny image. I'm going to stamp that right at the bottom just to give it a little extra detail. Ooh, I love that. Actually turned out pretty good. We're going to pop that up with some dimensionals. And you probably wouldn't have to have a dimensional. I'm going to put a mini dimensional, fits perfectly in that top part of that shape. What a unique shape this is. This would look good with so many other things as well. I'm just going to add this right to the side here. I already have a silver bow with that cord, the Elegantly Said, Simply Said. No, Simply Elegant. I'll get it. Simply Elegant trim package. And I'm just going to put that on with a glue dot. So I just put it right on the glue dot, pinch the glue dot together, and add that to the top. I'm going to pinch that glue to kind of tuck it right under that bow so it doesn't have sticky showing. And then one last little sparkle, some rhinestone, the champagne rhinestones. Just going to put one of those right there just for a little extra bling. And there you have it. So simple, so elegant. Let me show you my Too Cool version. This one, I started out with Smoky Slate, and I did that same Smoky Slate border. I have a gold strip instead of copper, basic gray instead of smoky slate, and use that same beautiful paper. I move the whole thing down a little bit, put the sentiment up higher, use gold this time to match the gold background, smoky slate for the little detail, and some gilded gems to match those gold accents. Both just look absolutely amazing. And that is your first card. You're going to have this one in your 5-card kit, and then if you place that $75 order with the host code, you'll get enough to make both cards. Okay, next up, let's do some background stamping on this one. We're starting with Pool Party, another basic traditional card base, 5.5 by 8.5, score at 4 1/4. This one, we have a 3 3/4 by 5-inch piece of basic white, and we're going to use this beautiful decorative corner for some stamping. I'm using Bermuda Bay, and obviously this is a corner piece that you can, it just makes sense to put it in the corner. I'm going to show you that you can also just make a whole side border. Doesn't have to be just the corner. So I'm going to flip it around and do my little corner piece going in another direction right next to it, and then we're going to fill in the little pieces right here on the side like that. So now we have a whole side border, so you can make, wherever you want to put this beautiful decorative pattern, you really can make it go wherever you want. Next, we're going to layer that onto a basic gray mat, and this is going to be 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Just a little hint of gray showing out from under. And before we put that down, I'm going to add some gold cord around the bottom. Actually, I think I have one cut here. Here we go. So I'm just going to tie this around the bottom into just a simple double knot. If you wanted to do a bow, you could do that as well. And we'll trim that. All right. Put that up just a tiny bit. All right, that looks good. Let's put that on our background. I put a little extra adhesive right in the middle so that since we have that cord, I don't want that to pop up, so a little extra adhesive doesn't hurt it. So there is our background. So simple and pretty. Let's add a sentiment. This time we're going to pop it with some color here with So Saffron. And I'm going to use another one of the sentiments. Life has changed for you, but my love and support never will. Isn't that beautiful? This is going to be stamped in basic gray to match that matte layer. And we'll punch that with our elegant tag punch. Pop. Add a few dimensionals. A little baby dimensional. Mini dimensional. And we're just going to put that right over that cord. So it kind of picks up that gold color from the cord, and then we'll finish up with a couple of gilded gems to highlight those gold accents. And that is it. Simple and elegant. Simply elegant. Get it? All right, let me show you the Too Cool version. So again, this one you're gonna get with the 5-card class. And then my Too Cool version, I did in Bermuda Bay as the background. We kept that basic gray as the matte piece, Calypso Coral for a pop of orange for the background this time, and Coastal Cabana for our sentiment layer. I added some champagne rhinestones here and some sheer pool party ribbon. Really subtle and elegant. I love how those turned out. All right, next up, this is a pretty wedding card. So I know that as we're into June, a lot of weddings happening, a lot of weddings that maybe didn't happen last year have been postponed and are starting to happen again this summer. So this is a great card for that. We're starting with Balmy Blue. We're gonna do a double time technique here. So we have our traditional card base, and then I have a card piece here that's 4 by 2.5. And we're just gonna add a tiny bit of, put a couple of dabs here, a couple little dabs of seal, and then we're going to center that right on our card front. We just wanna tack this down. We wanna be able to remove it. So there's 2 layers. This is called double time stamping. I need to clean my corner piece here. We're gonna stamp that in Balmy Blue as well. So clean that on my Simply Chamois. If you don't have one of those, oh my goodness, they're so helpful. So I have my Balmy Blue, and we're gonna stamp these as corner images. One right up here, just inside the edge of the card, and I'm gonna kind of rock it just a little bit, not a lot, because if we have any ink on the side, if we have any ink on the edge, you don't want that to catch and transfer. But you do want to make sure that you hit both layers, including the bottom layer. Now you can see how there's a little line that's around each side there. That's okay. We're gonna fix that in a minute. So get some more ink. We're gonna do this side. And just rock it just a tiny bit. Make sure that it's transferring the ink all the way around. All right, now we're gonna take this off, and we're gonna put some adhesive all the way around. And we're gonna layer it on a white piece. This white piece is, let's see, it's 2 5/8 by 4 1/8. And then we'll layer that back on here. Did I put it the right way? Yes, I did. So we'll add adhesive to this layer. And when you add just a little matte, that is going to take away that extra little spot that wasn't stamped. You don't even see that. So this is called double time stamping. You're stamping both on 2 different layers at the same time. So that is a really cool way to do a border there. Next, we're gonna do our sentiment. I have a piece here that is, I think it's about 4 1/2. I made it 4 1/2, but we can cut this down to however long that we need it, depending on whatever sentiment that we choose. So you don't have to choose the same sentiment. But I made it just a hair under 1 3/4 inch wide. And I'll tell you why in a minute. Let's start with putting our sentiment on here. And we'll add that in basic gray. And then I'm going to use this beautiful border. Let's clean it up from the last card. And we're going to stamp that in Balmy Blue right underneath. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, now let me show you a little trick here. you can make this a longer tag. So yes, we can do this beautiful elegant tag, but you can actually, the width here is 1 3/4. If you go just a hair under 1 3/4, you can pull this end up, so that end is not going to be cut, and then line it up so that you can cut this end only. See how I did that? Pop. So there is that side. And then, like I said, depending on whichever sentiment you want to use for this card, you can just cut off the end wherever you need it. And then I'm going to add another layer. I already have a little punch here from Misty Moonlight. And I'm just going to cut this in half. I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive over here and a little bit over here. And then we'll line this up. Let me do it on the table. It's a little bit sturdier there. It's just so that we have a hair peeking out. Isn't that pretty? A little border. Now this one, I didn't really want to have that extra curved end, so I'm just going to cut that. And then we can do the same thing on this side, just a little bit peeking out. And if you have any kind of peeking out on the side there, you can just trim that up, no problem. So there is a cute little tag. We're going to pop that up onto our card front. Just kind of a fun way to do it, and you can do that with either end, either the curly Q end or the curved end, or both. All you have to do is feed it through, thread it through that punch so that only one end is being cut. So I'm just gonna, I don't do tilted very often, so this is out of my comfort zone, but I love how that turned out. Let's just jazz it up with a little bit of ribbon. I have some white crinkle ribbon here that I've tied in a bow, and we'll add that with a glue dot. And if you've never gotten my kits, I do tie all your bows for you. It's just a little added thing. I know not everyone likes to tie bows or feels like they can. So I do have those all ready to go. So all you have to do is stick it right on the card. And then we're going to finish up with just a few metallic pearls. These look so beautiful. I'm going to put a couple down here and one up here. There you go. True love stories last forever. Beautiful wedding card. I love those colors. Let me show you my second card, the Too Cool version. So this one is in Fresh Freesia. Did the same double time technique, only this time vertically instead of horizontally. Did that same technique. This time I used a smaller sentiment, so I cut more off the end. And I just made it straight this time and put the same metallic pearls around to bring out that basic gray color for the sentiment. So if for your 5-card kit, you'll get the Balmy Blue. Your 10-card kit will get the Fresh Freesia as well. All right, on to the 4th card. Let's get back to some of that beautiful paper. This card starts with, let's give you a measurement here. This is 7.5 by 5.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4 again. So we have just a shortened opening for the front, and this is basic white thick. You definitely want to have that thicker, sturdier paper for your card base. It's going to be the basic white is beautiful for stamping. It's a little bit thinner than our other cardstock, so you always want to have the basic white thick for a card base. Now I have another piece here. I'm using some of that beautiful gold. Again, this is the one that if you wanted to add color, you could just sponge on, blend on any color that you wanted to and customize it to match your card background. So this piece is a 3 by 5 1/4. I'm going to add another little piece here. I'm going to use the back. So we're going to cover up this beautiful, it's like, oh, it hurts my heart sometimes to think about putting adhesive over, over that beautiful foil, but sometimes you want the background. So we'll just add a little bit of this basic gray pattern, a little crisscross pattern. So there is our card base. Next, we're going to do some stamping. I have a circle that's cut with the layering circles with basic white. And I'm going to add a sentiment in crumb cake. This is wishing you a wonderful birthday. Just going to kind of tuck it down there in the corner so it kind of has that beautiful curve. And then next we're going to use this pretty flower. I love this flower image. And this time we're going to stamp it in smoky slate. I'm going to kind of, that little notch here right underneath the leaf, I'm going to butt that right up to the sentiment. And then I'm going to add some flowers, just kind of put it in wherever there's a little space going around. So you have a beautiful floral pattern all the way around. I love that. And then I also die cut with the layering circles a scalloped circle from gold foil. So that's going to be a little accent piece behind this circle. Just a little bit of gold scallops. Now when I started to do this card, I liked where I was going with it, but it was a little too busy with all the floral and then all the foil pattern on the background. So to kind of diffuse it just a little bit, I have a piece here of crumb cake. It is 3.5 by 1 3/4. And I'm going to put that down first to kind of give us a little base and make this sentiment piece pop just a little bit more. So I want this to be right about here. And I'm going to flip it over. I guess you could use either side because it's just a piece of cardstock at this point. But I line it up where I want it so I know exactly where I'm going to put those dimensionals. And actually, I think I was supposed to just use seal for this layer, but that's okay. It'll look pretty this way as well. So there's our dimensionals. I think I had intended to use seal on this layer, and then I was going to use dimensionals on the circle, but this time I'm going to do it backwards. So for this, I'm going to flip it and then add some seal exactly where I want it, so I'm not getting it in places that I don't want it to go. There we go. So I still like that it's popped up. I'll show you the other version that I did. You can see the difference. It's very subtle, but I'm going to add just a couple more of these pretty silver metallic pearls. Really looks great with the gray. We'll put 3 of those over here. One went crazy and got in my way there. Okay. And the other thing I didn't do, oh, you guys, I messed up. There's some beautiful fine art floral ribbon, and this has some really pretty gold accents in there, and I was supposed to put that underneath. Let me show you what it's supposed to look like. Sometimes you just have cards that you mess up. So this is what it's supposed to look like. So I added that piece of fine art floral all the way around, and it's just long enough to go all the way around the card. Underneath this crumb cake piece, I had just a little strip of seal, and I adhered both ends of that to the card before I put the crumb cake on. And then you can see the difference here, or maybe you can. So I used seal first on the crumb cake versus popped up, and then I pop this one up versus using seal here. So you can see just a little bit of a difference depending on how you want your layers to be popped up. So this is how it's supposed to look. This will be your card for your 5-card kit. Let me show you another version that I did, my Too Cool version. This time I used smoky slate for the background. I used one of the different patterns that had all 3 colors of foil. Some of the, oh, what's it called? Is it Flowers for Every Season trim package that has some white linen ribbon that I used for the background. I used the same pattern piece there. For this background, instead of crumb cake, I used cinnamon cider. That looks amazing with copper. Whereas the crumb cake kind of picks up the gold tones, the cinnamon cider picks up those beautiful copper tones, just like the suntan lotion, right? Copper tone. But then we have the copper scallops around the edge, and I use that cinnamon cider for the sentiment. I love those together. I had no idea that copper and cinnamon cider look so great together, but they really, really do. They really combine very well together. So again, this is going to be the card for your 5-card kit. When you place that $75 order, you can get enough for making both cards. All right, one final card, you guys, and I hope you like this one. It's kind of has a different twist on it. This one, we are using the Soft Succulent color for our cardstock. And I'm going to start right away with my Elegant Tag Punch, and I'm going to punch a little window out. So I'm going to line up flush with the edge, and then I'm going to put it flush all the way into the punch. And then punch out that window. All right. Next, we're going to decorate around the window with that decorative corner punch or corner stamp. Let's clean it up here. And rather than using Soft Succulent, I'm going to use Mint Macaron, just a little bit lighter, but it coordinates very well. Ink that up. I'm going to start with the outside corner, and I'm just going to make like a little frame around this window. So we'll ink it up one more time and finish the frame up at the top. Just give it a little texture, a little pretty pattern, and very subtle. All right, so what's going in this window? Let's figure out. I have a piece of basic white here. It is 5 1/4 by 4, and I'm just gonna lay it in here for positioning purposes. Close this up, and then I'm gonna stamp with, let me find it, my basic gray. This is gonna be a little thank you card. And I'm going to stamp over here just to see, since it's not photopolymer, I can't see exactly through it, just to make sure that I have it kind of going the same. Yep, it's pretty close to straight. There we go. So just stamp right through the window. Then we're going to lift this up, take this off, and we're going to find our flower image again. We're going to clean it up from the last time, stamp it in Mint Macaron, or ink it up in Mint Macaron, and then we're going to stamp it right over that thank you for a pretty little image. We're going to add this to the inside of the card with some seal. And if everything lined up well from our original positioning, then it shows right through that window. Isn't that cute? I love that. Let's finish up the outside of the card. I have a piece here, 2 1/2 by 4 of our Simply Elegant Designer Series paper. We'll add that right over here to the edge. So it picks up the basic gray sentiment, and we'll add some Soft Succulent open weave ribbon. Just tie that in a double knot for a little faux bow. Trim it off. And we'll put it over here in the corner. And then I think we just have one more little piece we want to add. We have some gold metallic. And I'm going to put a couple of gold metallic pearls right here through the window at the top of that tag shape. And that's it. Really another simple, very quick, but it's very interesting with that window, don't you think? I love how that turned out. So that is the card for your 5-card kit. Let me show you the Too Cool version. I love this one as well. I really love the second versions of all of these so much. That's why I'm offering the 10-card kit as well, because I could barely decide which ones I wanted to do because I love them so much. So this one uses a different pattern of the Simply Elegant paper, basic gray for the background, that beautiful gold shimmer ribbon. I can't remember where that came from originally. It was in like a product medley or something. I can't remember. Maybe you remember. But I'm so glad that it's back, and it matches the gold accents in the paper just beautifully. And then I stamped the thank you, of course, in basic gray, and the flower is stamped in bumblebee. So that looks beautiful with that gold ribbon, matches perfectly. And then some silver metallic pearls to finish that up. I just love all the different gold and silver accents you can put with it. Matches the paper beautifully. So many different ways that you can mix and match and make things absolutely elegant and fabulous. All right, let's look at all of the cards again. I'm going to put together, this is going to be your 5-card kit. So these are all of the cards that are going to come in. You'll have all the supplies to make for your 5-card kit. You're going to have all of your cardstock, all of your designer series paper, embellishments, and everything pre-cut. You do not need the punch. I'm going to go ahead and give you already pre-punched things because I think you'll be able to stamp on them very easily. However, you're gonna want the punch because it's amazing. It's so pretty and very unique as far as punches and labels go. So these are all the cards that you're gonna get supplies for the 5-card kit. You can earn that with a $35 order. And you just go to toocoolstamping.com, click on the Shop Now link, place your minimum $35 order, and use your host code here, THTK9AVB, and that will get you all of the parts and pieces for the 5-card kit. Now, if you want all of the versions of all of these cards, I don't have enough room on the screen to show you all of them at once, but I'm going to show you the Too Cool versions again so that you can see all of the different pieces that you're going to get for your 10-card class. So this one has a lot more grays in it. I love that the paper is beautiful with all of the elegant neutral gray colors and the beautiful foil accents, but I love that you can pop out and make all kinds of colors of cards. And the fun thing about these, like this one, you wouldn't have to use Calypso Coral. You could use Magenta Madness or anything that you wanted to with this to make it, make the card your own, use the supplies that you have on hand. So anyway, these are all of the cards you're going to get supplies for when you have your 10-card kit. This will be in addition to all the supplies from the 5-card kit with all of the different versions. So I love that I can offer that this week. This will happen, this offer goes through June 9th, I believe, Wednesday, June 9th. So place your order at toocoolstamping.com by then, and then everything will mail out on June 14th. All right, everybody, I hope you really enjoyed this very elegant, simply elegant, sweet. I absolutely love this bundle, and I hope that you guys do too. I thank you so much for spending time with me, and I will see you next week on Thursday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, once again, for our next live class. And until then, I hope you have a great week. This is Angie with Too Cool Stamping. See you soon. Bye-bye.